Okay, so I took this little bar apart. All right, there's the screw for the top part. This is what was holding, this is what it was hooked to from the inside, right? On the outside. Sorry for my screwdriver that fell. I just wanted to verify the tension discs were indeed clean and that I have them on here correctly. All right. I'm going to clean this little doodad up and put it back in there with the tiniest drop of oil. And then, I guess, put this thing back together and see what happens. Okay, my problem could have been this screw tied too tightly. I did have it screwed all the way down, and I realized that in order really for this to work, it's kind of like a seesaw maybe, that when you press, when this screw presses this, then it moves this up and back. So up would be increased tension, down would be less tension. So I had this where this was not moving freely, which is kind of what I figured yesterday, and I did unscrew this a little, but I may have just had that too tight. Because in the instructions, again, it doesn't say anything about the inside of this, right? They're not thinking 140 years into the future when they're selling this machine. They're thinking, you know, it's set when you buy it, you set the tension, you leave it for the existence of the machine. You know, probably. All right, I'm having a hard time doing this with one hand. Okay, you have to forgive me. I have to use my little stylus to, Okay, I was testing my theory, and that did kind of work. I'm going to try to get this in here so you can see. I didn't really select a gradual, but notice this end, when I press on that, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but it will, it pushes out down. Okay, now when I undo the screw, and the screw's does have a pointed end on it. Right now I don't have this screwed down. I'm going to test it with the screw all the way. It's not really all the way out. I turned it like maybe 1.5. I'm going to do it all the way down and see if I get the same result. So when I undo this, it's lowering it. So right here, when it's screwed, it's releasing tension. So it's pulling, no, it's increasing tension. It's pulling the disc. Let's test it and see. What is it doing? Yeah, see, it's really tight. Okay. So now I'm going to release the tension on it, which should make that little wrench end there. See, it went down a little bit. See? So that went down a little bit. So that most likely where my problem was at. All right, now I'm going to screw this all the way down and see what results I get. Try to get my phone to pause while we do this. Okay, that it did work. It did loosen the tension. I think what I'm going to try to do is, I did not screw it all the way down. That's all the way down. And I mean, I don't have it tight. you don't want any of these so tight you won't be able to get them back off again. I mean, you want it kind of as tight as it will get, but you want to also be able to move it freely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this twice, 2 whole turns. I had better luck with that for this moving up and down. I did find a screw, but I think this is an extra, just a spring. I think that's a spring for this. I think it's too wide for this, because this does not have a spring. You know, most of your newer things, your newer machines have the spring around it, right? This doesn't, so I am going to take this back apart and check this to see if the spring will work. I don't think that's what it's for. Like I said, I think it's the maybe for this or something else, but we'll see. Okay, so this screw did not work. It's probably an extra that I had for something else. It did fit around this, but it wouldn't fit through the hole. I do think if I found a smaller spring that would fit through there, but it doesn't look like it's made to. And when I took it apart, it didn't have one in there, but that might be something that might make it. I did leave this, I did screw this down all the way, and then I did loosen it around twice. Because once this screw moves into place, that's what's going to hold that little bar in place, that little tension bar. And then that shouldn't move. All right. If I come back to it, I mean, it did work when I had it screwed all the way down. I just still felt maybe the tension was too tight. And this does seem to hold that in place. Granted, these machines move more than your newer ones. And then if I have to take it apart again and, you know, screw that all the way down, I will. But for now, I'm going to leave it loosened up 2 rounds, right? Then I have to figure out, and I'm not going to adjust the tension on, I'm going to put this right on the, I'm going to lower this right as it starts to touch that little bar, right? Right as it starts to touch it. That way when I put it on, I'll know, okay, that's touching the bar, that's the loosest tension. You can see that's pretty loose. All right. And then I'll do it, that's what Sarah advised, little by little. That was my bobbin falling on the floor. These I do believe are replacement bobbins. Like I said, my original ones are really, really bent and I could not straighten them. I will try to find all my information. I believe I got these on Etsy. I got the leather belts, I believe, on Etsy or Amazon. May have been Etsy. I'm going to order the rubber belt from the, I know it's Amish lady that makes them, because my belt is slipping when I'm sewing, so that could be the issue as well. I will put this back on here just real quick and then we will move on. I'll just leave it off for now until we get everything together. Alright, let's put this together. Sorry this video is a little longer.